Hey everyone, Master Tech Bob here, bringing you a little bit different video today. Wanted to take a second and kind of appreciate where we're at and where we've came from. We thank everyone for all the likes and follows and shares. We really appreciate that, helping push our content out. But today I just want to do a little recap. So I was a teacher for about 10 years. And one of the things we did when we were going through the program with the automotive and diesel students is like Fridays was what we called our free day Friday. The students were allowed to work on their own special projects. But one of the things we did kind of as a capstone is I would play an episode of the garage rehab, and the students had to make and develop their own garage rehab project on how they would refurbish a shop. And we used actually this building as that, because we would take a tour down here. It was a full functioning machine shop that I purchased from Wilgus Automotive Machine. There's a little tribute to him there that I'd made. But I just kind of wanted to do a recap of what the shop used to look like, where it's at, and then maybe talk a little bit about what our future plans are. So let's get after it. Okay everyone, I'm currently at Wilgus Machine. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough for you. This is the entrance area or the office. Okay, so we're going to head out here. This brings us out into the main shop area. We can see this way. I said he's got plenty of storage books, tools hanging on the wall, the furnace, more storage. This is an area where he does starters and alternators and carburetor rebuilds. And then back here in the back, like I said, you can see all the boxes and whatnot. This is the restroom. Get a good shot of that for you guys. Okay, and then this more tools and stuff on the wall. We'll do a quick overview of the equipment in the shop. So going down the side here, this first blue piece of equipment is a flywheel resurfacer. The next is the pressure washer. The next two here is a combination of bead blaster. It's designed for basically doing a sandblasting type stage. The next is what we call a tumbler. I'll open this one up. I like this machine. It's one of my favorites. But you can see it's pretty greasy, dirty, nasty. And then that brings us over to the oven. So the oven's basically just what it says. It's an actual oven which cooks the parts. He's got a big press here. And then the little pin press. There's the mill in the background. And then this is the cylinder head pressure testing station. This machine here is for redoing the valve guides. That machine back there in the back does the valve themselves. And then this is kind of where Mike works on some of the cylinder heads. You can see that same piece of equipment right here. Okay. And then he's got the belt sander, which is the old style of resurfacing cylinder heads. The honing cabinet, where he hones the cylinder blocks. You see that piece of tooling there. It's all automated, so that's a pretty sweet setup. And then over here, kind of give you a brief overview of the rest of the shop. You see he's got stuff piled everywhere here, but we got a scissor lift, much like what we got in the back. And then this back piece of equipment here, this is for brake rotors. Or for drums, sorry, this one is for rotors. This is for resizing connecting rods, okay? And then this is the boring bar. So he sets this up, and then this machine here will cut the cylinders. Next over here on this side, we have the broach. This is for resurfacing cylinder heads, any components that are aluminum. Then he has a little parts washing solvent tank. And then more tools hanging on the walls. You can kind of see the area here. If you look real close, right down there, you can see the yellow part. That's what used to be the lift. Okay, and then we'll head this way to the back side of the shop. This is the little room I was telling you about, where he's got one air compressor which runs the front side of the shop. And then this comes back here to the back area. You can see my pallet racking I was telling you guys about. Looks like he's got an old car in here they're doing a engine rebuild on. And then you can see all the stuff. I mean, just stuff everywhere. You can barely walk through. You can see the 2 air compressors there. This is another pallet racking system I put in. You can see it is packed full of stuff. An old computer back here that I used to use for looking up parts. So that's pretty much it. Ooh, man, stuff everywhere. There's this toolbox I was telling you guys about. He's got a little Husky box and another little parts cleaner back here. Some other components like the transmission flush machine. So he's got plenty of tools, that's for sure. So I just wanted you guys to get a brief overview in case we don't get a chance to tour here and kind of get an idea and an understanding of what this shop looks like. So, oh, there's all the parts up top. You can see those. So, all right, well, that's it. So currently standing in the office area here, we've done quite a bit of renovations, everything from the ceiling to the wallpaper to the windows. We took down all the blinds and tinted the windows so that it just doesn't have the sun glare, but also doesn't give that 90s vibe feel. This is my computer station here, work orders. And then this opens up here to the shop dog. So we've cleaned all this up, got rid of those books and the benches that were here. Working on turning this into a break room area. We still need to get the sink hooked up and functional. Right now it's kind of where we set all of our recycling boxes at. And then this restroom, right, the transformation of this thing. So we basically gutted it, put in a new sink, new vanity, new mirror, kind of cleaned everything up. The floors still need to be redone, but it's a shop, so it's functional and it works. Still got all the machines here. However, most of them don't get used on a daily. We still do use them from time to time. You know, we've done my toolbox tour. You guys have seen Meepers toolbox tour. We got Brian's. Maybe one of these days we can go through it. But we've put in a 2-post lift here in the first bay. You know, redid the window that was broken. Still got some of John's old tools hanging up. And then this is our second bay. We got trucks sitting outside ready to come in. Got some tires, another electronic box there to the side. Just trying to fit everything with all my equipment and John's equipment kind of into the same space. We ended up having to tear down the wall so that we had room for my big bin pack lift. You guys have hopefully seen that in some of our videos that we do, but this is an 18,000 pound 4-post lift. Fits big trucks in here, no problem. And then I kind of have moved what used to be the machining area that now is where my tire equipment is, where they would work on the cylinder heads and stuff. I've moved that to the back area here, so I'll show you that as well. So back this way. So we've moved some of the air compressors. This is just the other side of that little air compressor room. Suppose I could show you that here. So I got rid of the one big compressor and plumbed these 2 in. And then I've got this one out here. And then that big compressor, I actually moved it up to the top. So we've got 4 compressors all plumbed together, but we've got the brake lathe, we've got the boring bar, and then this is a broach for resurfacing cylinder heads. And then we got the basically cylinder head repair station. So this will do the valves. This machine here cuts the seats. And then over here we got an engine building area. Looks like we're currently working on a Chevy big block. Got a 454 that we're building back here. And then another little toolbox, some ladders. But yeah, this is pretty much it. So we've come a long way. Got the shop cleaned up quite a bit. Used to be just nothing but a maze in here with all these blocks and heads and cranks setting everywhere. You couldn't even get through. But now we can fit 3 vehicles in. We turn and burn quite a bit here. So guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in. You know, if there's something in particular you guys want to see working or see in action, just, you know, like, comment, whatever, let us know down there, and I'll see if I can't get a video of that. Thanks again.